There comes a time in life where staying connected to certain people begins to cost you your peace of mind and happiness. And the painful part is this. Sometimes the people draining you are the same people you love most. To some extent, you keep trying harder. You keep explaining yourself. And you keep forgiving things that continue to break you inside. Not because you are weak, but because you love that person deeply to a point you can't let them go. A lot of good people are emotionally exhausted today, not because life is against them, but because they stay too long in places where their mental health is constantly under pressure. You cannot keep loving people who only show up for you when it's convenient for them. You cannot continue to sacrifice your mental health just to avoid disappointing others. And you definitely cannot build a peaceful relationship while constantly attached to people who create confusion around you. Some people will only appreciate your silence after they ignored your words. Some will only notice your value after they pushed you away. And sadly, some people only knows how to receive love, but they do not know how to protect the heart that gives it. That is why emotional maturity is important. Being strong is not always about fighting to keep relationships alive. Sometimes strength is about walking away from environments that slowly destroy your happiness. A lot of people are afraid to be alone, but they stay in situations that make them feel more lonely. Because there are relationships where you sleep beside someone and still feel emotionally abandoned. There are situations where your presence is tolerated but your heart is neglected. And over time, that kind of pain will change you. To a point you start to doubt yourself. You question your worth. Sometimes, people start losing themselves while trying too hard to hold on to other. Your happiness matters because it affects every part of your life. When your peace begins to fade, your energy changes. Your smile feels different. The things you once enjoyed may no longer feel the same. And sometimes, when you start setting boundaries and choosing yourself, others may not understand. Protect your peace. Value yourself. And never ignore what your heart keeps trying to tell you. Others will say you have changed because you stopped allowing people to manipulate your feelings. Some people will become angry over your growth because they can't manipulate you anymore. But you must understand this. Not every connection is meant to last forever. Some relationships were meant to teach you what true love should never look like. Some relationships exist only to wake you up emotionally. And some breakups are actually protection disguised as heartbreak. The hardest goodbye is usually the one you know is necessary for you to say for the sake of your mental health. Because your heart may still love someone while your mind finally realizes the damage it will cost you to stay. That internal battle is always painful. Because you will remember the memories you created together, the promises you made to each other, and the late-night conversations that made you happy. But there's a difference between working through problems and continuously tolerating emotional destruction. You deserve relationships where communication can thrive easily, where respect is mutual, where your presence is valued instead of managed. And sometimes, the most powerful decision you can make is choosing yourself without hesitation. Choosing the peace you lost while trying to save people who were comfortable hurting you. Do not be afraid to be alone for any reason. Never ignore repeated behavior just because you are emotionally attached to someone. If someone constantly disrupts your peace of mind, dismisses your feelings, drains your energy, and makes you feel emotionally unsafe, you must stop calling that love. Because love cannot drain you emotionally. Although, some people will say that relationships require patience. Yes, I know that relationships require patience. And I also know that people are imperfect. But eventually you have reached a point where memories can no longer be enough to justify continuous suffering. Love alone cannot sustain a relationship without respect and emotional safety. And this is where many people lose themselves. Because many people in relationships hold on to potential instead of reality. They fall in love with who they thought the person could be, while ignoring who they constantly notice the person is. Because being alone is not the worst thing in life. The worst thing in life is losing yourself while trying to hold on to people who are comfortable losing you. Learn to walk away with your dignity intact. Not out of revenge. Not out of bitterness or hatred. But for the sake of your mental health. Because real healing begins the moment you stop forcing connections that can no longer feed your soul. And one day, you will understand that the pain you went through walking away was preparing you for someone who will love you right and for a better version of yourself. And when the right person comes, you will stop crying over people who left you in pain and start thanking God for what their absence protected you from. Always remember this. The people who truly love you will not constantly disrupt your peace just to satisfy their ego. They will not make you beg for basic respect. And they will not repeatedly hurt you and expect you to stay. True love feels safe. It does not leave you emotionally starving while you continue feeding everyone else. Be strong enough to stand alone when necessary. And be wise enough to leave places where your happiness keeps dying slowly. Because the longer you ignore emotional pain, the more damage it creates inside you. Protect your heart. Protect your peace. And protect your mind. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your emotions. And never forget this truth. A person who truly values you will never feel comfortable watching you suffer emotionally while they continue giving less than you deserve. Be guided.